I bought my laundromat. So from the time that me and my husband decided that we were going to buy a laundromat, it took about 6 months. First thing I did was go online, go on Google, how to buy a laundromat. And of course, the number one website that was recommended to me was Biz Buy Sell. It's like a really good starting point to see how much laundromats cost in the area. And I also looked on Facebook Marketplace. Like, you will see different laundromats for sale on different platforms. Whether or not you get a deal from these platforms, it is just a good way to like get a sense of how much laundromats cost in your area, the utilities, rent, and all that. Like, I signed up for these platforms, and then brokers will start reaching out to you with other deals that may not be posted on the platforms, deals that just came in. I think we saw about like 5-6 laundromats. What was important to me when finding the laundromat is it is close to home. I live in Brooklyn, and we saw some that was in Queens and in Williamsburg, very far from where I live. So I'm glad that like those deals fell through. The one that we have now is just 10 to 15 minutes away. Maybe down the line you're gonna be less involved, but still in the beginning you have to put a lot of time. So I would recommend, if you can, find one very close to home. Very important that you kind of like sift through, know the deal, and you just have to know how much you can afford. I did not actually find my current laundromat from one of those platforms or from a broker, because all those fell through. This laundromat was not even on the market. It was through a friend. I was having lunch with a bunch of girls from my gym, and I knew that this one friend, she knows a lot of people, so I just told her I am looking for a laundromat. And of course, she knew somebody he was just thinking about selling. He didn't even put it on the market. She connected us. The rest is history. So I would say I got really lucky. I say finding the actual laundromat that is perfect, everything that you're looking for, is really important. For my husband, he wanted something really clean, something like really modern, or at least had the potential. A lot of the ones that we saw were really run down. The most important thing is figuring out how much down you can put, how you're going to get funding. Unless you can buy some like straight out with cash because you're just loaded like that. Most people, I think, are not in this situation. Like, we weren't. Luckily, this owner, well, he wasn't like in it for the money as much as wanting to make sure that the laundromat was in good hands, and he saw that in us. We're just like a young millennial couple, just wanting to make a better life for ourselves. So he agreed to seller financing with a much lower rate than if we were to go to Eastern Funding, which is a bank that specifically does laundromat financing. We negotiated how much we will put down, and then the rest we will do over a series of 10 years. Of course, it's very important that you get the numbers, like the previous owner provided us with how much utilities has been, all the expenses, how much revenue the laundromat has been bringing in for the past 2 years. It's very important to get like 2 years worth of numbers so that you know what you are in for once you start, and then you can grow it that way. Like, is this laundromat bringing enough money to cover all the expenses and then some? Why are you doing this if you're not making money? And then once you negotiated all your terms with the owner, you have to get a lawyer. You'll have to get specifically a business attorney that oversees these like transactions. I'm sorry, I don't remember what you get. A business attorney, like what are these, like commercial business attorney. We just went online and I looked up a lot of different attorneys, lawyers, and just found the one that listened to me. There was one, he was actually like charging less, but he was just like, don't ask any questions, just let me take the lead. And I didn't really like that. So I went with another attorney who didn't do that. She was listening to me, she was talking me through it. Even though she charged a little more, like I felt better with her. So I went with her. Be prepared to spend like at least like a few $1,000s, like budget for that as well for the attorney. So you're gonna have an attorney, the seller's gonna have an attorney, they're gonna negotiate for you once you guys agree on all the terms. All right, so at this point we were like 4 months in. We actually found a deal about 3 months in. It was like June, I would say May and June that we started looking, and then I found the attorney in maybe it was August, so maybe it was a little shorter. Whole negotiation took about another 2 to 3 months. We were going to like sign papers on November, but it was during the holidays. But there's gonna be delays, and the lawyer sees something in the paperwork that they didn't like, but a little back and forth. So you have to also like do inspection of the space. So I do recommend, what I do recommend is that you look at, because I didn't really do that, you look at the water boiler. A little after a year since we bought the laundromat, we realized that the water boiler, the water heater that's usually in the basement, is on the last of its lifeline, and those things cost a few $1,000s or $10,000 to replace. And if we had just told the owner, oh, can you replace this, find out how long that's been, and yeah. So while the lawyers are duking it out, we have to figure out how we're going to put our down payment, which is a large chunk of money. We sold some of our investments, we drained our savings account, just come up with the down payment. We had to have it ready on the day of signing. So we signed papers on December, like the beginning of December, and then from there we took it over. And there was a lot of things in between, but that is pretty much it. The whole process, you're looking at maybe 5-6 months, and we were very lucky that we didn't have to go through a broker. We found a seller, and it was just like the perfect match. I would say that we got very lucky. Not everybody is going to be this lucky in finding the deal. Like, you just gotta try. It's also about knowing the right people. Maybe get the word out that you're looking for a laundromat. Maybe like miraculously somebody will know somebody that's selling, like in my case. So if you're looking to buy a laundromat, good luck, and anticipate that it's gonna take like at least like 3 to 6 months. Good luck.